Tonight's ACM talk is latest tech innovations from the 2026 Consumer Electronics Show. The speaker is Avery Liu, partner and head of business development at the Aventurine Capital Group. As a background and introduction to ACM, we're a local professional chapter of the Association of Computing Machinery. We were founded in 1957, so we're a little more experienced than your typical meetup. We have about 13,000 people that have come to one of our meetups at one time or another. We have over 180 or maybe 200 past talks on our YouTube channel. We have a couple of sponsors. I'd like to thank one is our location sponsor where we are now, the Valley Research Park, or VRP. So they rent suites and cubes for office space for small companies here in Mountain View. There's also RXM, Cloud Native AI Training and Consulting. So for example, if you want some custom training, say a week of Kubernetes at your office location in Baltimore or Stuttgart, then they can handle that. Front Egg is also a sponsor. So they have an out-of-the-box low-code identity platform. C-Cube is the company I'm from. A couple of the products we have are IntelliConnect, chatting with your data with a RAG system. And we're adding graph-based as well. Also Guardians for guardrails to protect and implement policies. You can chat on the Zoom. I'll be monitoring any chats on the Zoom. If you have questions that come in, I can ask them of the speaker. We have a call for volunteers. Liana here is our volunteer coordinator. So you can start off with just limited volunteer efforts. We have a once-a-month planning meeting where we get together and talk about upcoming events. Some upcoming ACM events. We have Internet Day coming up Friday this week. It's 1 to 5 p.m. It's online only. Last year it was in San Francisco, but this year it's online. Wednesday in June 10th, there's IEEE mass storage roadmap and update on that. So they were looking at trying to estimate 15 years in the future, what's going on with mass storage, including down to DNA storage. Later in June, we have Search 360 from query understanding to LLM enhanced retrieval. Then in July, we have systems engineering, the role of AI and software in emissions reduction. And in August, modular test automation and quality engineering in agile systems. So I'd like to introduce tonight's speaker. So you'll be talking about the Consumer Electronics Show. I looked it up just because I know it was awesomely huge. I found on a quick search earlier today, it had 148,000 people attending, 2.6 million square feet. I don't know of any technology show that's bigger. So it's expanded beyond just consumer electronic devices to many other categories, including wearables, smart homes, robotics, drones, medical and healthcare devices. For some background about Avery, he's been working for about 30 plus years with experience as a high-tech executive. He works with both investment and commercialization, a senior director of program development at the Global Semiconductor Alliance. He's previously co-funded 3 startups, Palo Alto Scientific, ActionSpot Startup Studio, and WBGlobalSemi. You can look him up at some of the websites down there. So now I'll switch it over to Avery. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Good evening, everyone. Again, my name is Avery Liu. Thank you for having me. Tonight, I'll be talking about a few things I saw at CES this past January. So I think you kind of already talked about it, but basically, so the CES actually celebrated 59 years this year. It's a rather big showroom, as you mentioned, 2.6 million square feet, more than 4,100 exhibitors, 1,200 startups, almost 150K attendees, although pre-COVID, it was about double that. 55,000 international attendees. and 6,900 global media content creators and industry analysts. Next year, CES will be celebrating their 60th anniversary. So where was everything at CES? So if you've been to CES, it's rather large and actually expansive across different hotels and convention centers. So there's the Las Vegas Convention Center at the north end of the strip, and that's where you know, a lot of large companies and large brands are, like mobility, the LG screens, robotics, audio, video, you know, your more traditional stuff, and automotive. If you look at the Venetian Expo, which is near kind of the lower part where it's you know, the Venetian Hotel, you have Eureka Park, and that's actually where the startups and cutting edge emerging technologies are. And that's usually where I spend a lot of the time. But this year, I decided to spend more time with the larger Las Vegas Convention Center. So I'll be talking about that. Here, just kind of, they had a kind of an arch with all these ads all the way from the 60s all the way through now. And as you know, a lot of the advertisement went from print now all the way to digital. So it's just kind of commemorating all the decades of CES as it has evolved. Lenovo Tech World. So this was actually at CES. So they have a lot of different side events at CES. This was in the new Sphere where Wizard of Oz is actually being shown. So Lenovo decided they wanted to have a big bang, and they had a full all-star lineup there that evening, starting with their own CEO, and then Jensen Huang from NVIDIA, Lip-Bu Tan of Intel, Lisa Su from AMD, and Cristiano Amon from Qualcomm. And then, of course, they had FIFA's CEO, as well as the lady in charge of the Sphere. So really what this shows is that semiconductors is alive and well, the industry behind many of the innovations we see, and AI will be driven by chip makers if it wasn't already apparent. And then, of course, we were lucky to have a concert afterwards with better name. Next, Lenovo Tech World. So again, they had many different product announcements, but really key thing is the AI PC, their new Clara AI personal assistant, and different things, including you know, custom powered solutions, AI solutions for the FIFA World Cup, which Lenovo powers, as well as a AI cloud gigafactory with NVIDIA. So very exciting, very big event. Oh, Gwen Stefani was the performer afterwards. Cosmera Star Razor. So you look at this, it looks very beautiful. It's really cool supercar. But guess who's making it? There's a Chinese tech company called Dreamy with an E. What does Dreamy make? They make appliances and they make lawnmowers. So the question is, what does a company like that know how to make a supercar, right? It might be a dream. So they debuted the first ever electric hypercar prototype, right? And pretty much extreme power, so 1,900 horsepower. I mean, 500 horsepower is already a lot, right? I mean, what can we do on American roads, right, with 1,900 horsepower? You know, AI-driven coaching, steer-by-wire, adaptive suspension, right? This is actually a concept car, and it's actually engineered in Germany and built in China, scheduled to go on sale in China and Europe in 2028. So just kind of a insight into what the Chinese are thinking. Another thing, I don't know if you guys can see without this bar.
You can get rid of that.
Yeah.
On the right where it says more, you can hide it.
Oh, okay, good. Oh, good, like that.
That's fine.
So GWM is the Great Wall Motor Company. So this is not known to us in the West, but actually they have a hybrid SUV for less than 50K. But of course, not for the US market, right? It's actually sold in Australia, and the rumor is it's going to be coming through Mexico. So Mexico will have second dibs at it. But basically, this is their flagship SUV. It has, you know, very, very long range, right? And 590 miles. So I mean, from here to LA, I could go on one tank, right, in one charge. It's got real leather. So for 50 grand, I mean, if I'm buying a 100 grand car, no offense, I like the environment, but I want real leather. So this one actually is quite interesting. If it was here, I would actually consider buying it. And I know, the joke is that Chinese cars are not very reliable. But remember, not too long ago, Hyundai was kind of representing that field, right? And now they have very, very good quality cars. So I think it's, you're looking at BYD and a lot of other cars manufacturers from China. They're getting better and better. Let me see. So the Roadster is back. So when you thought that, they're putting away, throwing in the towel, Longbow. So this is actually founded by some guys that used to work for Tesla and Lucid. And so they really wanted this back. It's going to be, I think, EP is 240 miles, right? $115,000. 60 in 3.5 seconds. The only thing is, I don't want to crash. Probably not a good idea, but it's quite interesting. Very, very nice. Go to the next one. So the Stryton, oops, I think I went too far. The Stryton energy truck. So this is remote power generation, right? This is 5.9 liter Cummins common rail working as a diesel generating power 130 kilowatt battery platform. So what do we do this? You send this out, right? It's a 550 horsepower, 2,000 foot-pounds of torque, right? MPG of 70 miles per gallon and a 100-gallon tank, right? So this thing actually is sent out, and you charge it in 15 minutes, 80% of the battery. I mean, that's faster than my iPhone. So this is actually sent out to places where, say, your grid, you're down, and you need energy. So this could be quite useful in those kind of environments. The only problem is how you're going to charge it, right? So, and apparently the power average size home for 3 days on a one charge. That's pretty massive. But I went up to the back bed. It's that whole, all the circuitry, everything is in the back. So the airport of the future, fire truck. So the Oshkosh Stryker Volterra electric airport rescue and firefighting vehicle, right? So there's 4,000 plus commercial airports worldwide and 100,000 daily flights. Air travel is rapidly expanding, right? Expected to double to 20 billion passengers annually by 2042. So this thing is what they call the Aircraft Rescue and Firefighting Vehicle, right? Or ARF. And it's built to meet the safety and reliability demands of this growth. So basically, at an airport, right, when you have a fire, these trucks are basically the ones that get deployed. So these are quite interesting, but massive. You can see how big it is. So this year at CES was Motown, right? And you saw lawnmowers galore from everybody, mainly the Chinese brands, right? But just every single kind. I mean, at the very beginning, my first slide is one of the lawnmowers can actually climb a hill. So, oh dear, we got John Deere, right? So serious ag tech. I mean, this X9 high capacity performance combine, right? Designed for large scale farming. This thing occupied the expanse of the booth. I mean, this thing is supercharged with all kinds of things, right? Wearing stereo cameras, guided by GNSS receivers and satellite technology, predictive ground speed automation. And this is what's coming to harvest on adjusted speed, when it cuts. It also crop conditions like moisture level and adjusts, processing parameters and so on, right?
What is GNSS for the novices?
Radio receiver.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but basically, yeah, it is fully stocked, right? I mean, maybe you just need a beer or something to go with it. You got vertical takeoff and landing vehicles, VTOL, right? So they used to have a lot more of these in previous years. The one in the middle that you see kind of has all these little propellers. It's redundancy, so if some of them quit while you're in the air, it'll make up for it, but I still wouldn't feel too comfortable about that. I just thought this was kind of cool. I actually got one of these. So they have this small DLP projector that actually can be mounted anywhere. And, for, I think, $450, I think I got it for half off. But this is kind of cool. They actually outfitted it with a special screen in the Tesla. One thing, this year, right, in previous years, you see a lot of Chinese dominance in cars and other things. This year, Korean dominance, especially at Eureka Park. No pun intended, because, Park is a Korean name. But basically, a lot of Korean cities and municipalities and startup incubators were present, and they were showing their wares. So this year, almost like half of the Eureka Park, if you see the map, is really encompassed from that. So that was very interesting to see how people are trying to implement AI and all these different products and innovations. So again, the Korea Advanced Institute of Science and Technology, they had a booth. The Korea Institute of Science and Technology, KIST. They have Korean municipalities, so Busan, right, and Songnam. So, and then you have their Electronics and Telecommunication Research Institute. And then the Japanese, of course, the Japan External Trade Organization. The Hong Kong group was there as well. So Hong Kong Science Technology Park. And then one thing, the AI that they had, they had little different booths and stuff. So at that sphere that evening, one of the things while we were, eating stuff and getting prepared to go in and listen to the keynotes was, can I be a soccer FIFA player? And so does that look anything like me? I don't think so. So this is their AI generated FIFA player based on what I put in. But then I went to another one for Lenovo and they generated, and I ended up being a casino boss, right? So, and then this is actually one of the universities from Korea. So Konkuk National University, they had a project AI generated anime character. So you can see like where the top, that's me, and they're trying to make me into an anime character. This is the IEEE booth. So I think the IEEE booth was the best, not because I'm from IEEE, but because actually, so a prompt was 1980s rock and roll band, and it made me look like Don Johnson from Miami Vice on the left. And then on the right, the 80s hip hop and rap artist. So I actually look like Asian LL Cool J with Nike running suit or something. So this was what the IEEE booth looked like this year. I think they went gangbusters on doing it. You can see to the lower right, that's all the other kind of album covers that were made from other people. And then actually IEEE Medal of Honor. So this is the second year that we're actually giving out the $2 million prize, and it was to Jensen Huang. Actually, the actual formal event happened April 24th in New York City, but this was kind of the precursor. Previous year, we gave it out to Henry Samueli of Broadcom, right? So really, I mean, the 2026 CES shows us a future where AI deeply integrates with physical life, right? So we talk about physical AI this year, right? Focusing heavily on next-gen mobility, right? Whether it's EVs, air, autonomous tech, software-defined vehicles, advanced robotics, humanoids, right? A lot of bipeds. We had a few of those kind of dog robots, but I think that was a couple years ago. Now everybody wants to showcase humanoid robots. Pervasive ambient AI in smart homes and health tech. So a lot of the appliances, right? Smart wash, smart clean, all that stuff, right? Anything smart or AI, they want to implement it, even if it's kind of like not really. Again, I think, but you are seeing more from the lab to real world use, at least the attempt to do so, but still in transition. AI everywhere, right? Beyond theoretical. So AI powered practical solutions, right? Amazon's ambient AI in homes to NVIDIA's autonomous vehicle models and Intel's laptop chip improvements. You've got Boston Dynamics Atlas, which was actually on display, but he also made some errors. And that's why they said, stay away from the robot because it might fall on you or hit you. But they're trying to kind of show you what the future of could look like in our households as well as in our factories. mobility transformation, right? So obviously EVs, autonomous driving, air mobility, and so on, energy solutions like hydrogen batteries. And then, new gadgets, right? Like Lego smart bricks and so on, like vacuum cleaners and so on.
Question?
Yeah.
About 5 years ago, I upgraded a bunch of stuff at Google Home. So I have like 30 devices between switches and doorbells and all the basic stuff. What's changed with smart homes? Or if I want to upgrade my Google Home, what new features are there?
I think it's been evolutionary. It hasn't been really revolutionary. I mean, it's still pretty much like kind of progressing. Like they add additional features and stuff, but I haven't seen anything that was like so earth-shattering from what you already have at home. So,
Okay.
yeah, I think for that, I'm still looking out for the killer app. I'm still looking out for Jarvis, right? Something that can actually, but then we might be afraid because a sentient being, then,
Well, if Gemini, you can start connecting it to your different accounts and things like that if you trust it enough.
Exactly.
Like your Google Drive and Google Calendar. So you can probably speak to that through your home devices.
Yep. Obviously, health tech is a focus. I had done a startup on wearables and running and with health. So obviously, right now, a lot of things are helping for like age tech and other things because more and more people are older now. But again, like I said, a lot of things I'm seeing are kind of still kind of in progress, but nothing that really stood out that much from my standpoint. Okay, and then I think again wearables, right? So wearable AI. Actually, Pebble is back, right? The Pebble Watch, which was the e-ink. But other than that, I think a lot of the other wearables are still there are rings galore. You've heard of Aura Ring and others. Again, but which one is going to differentiate? Which one really is going to give you the real insight for your health, right? I think that's the key thing. Okay, so I mentioned Pebble. So exoskeletons, right? Again, these used to be more prevalent many years ago. They're getting better to assist you, whether it's helping to lift or if, you have weak legs and other things. So I think ultimately these are things that I'm still following. But again, I didn't see anything that was I think there's one where my colleague, I don't have here, where they actually had you could climb a hill. They built a whole kind of jungle gym thing in the hall, and so using that as a skeleton, it helped her climb up the stairs and so on. Okay, we talked about physical AI. So is there audio here? Let me see if there's well, basically, you can see here how real that looks. It's a little freaky, but that's all robotic with human type skin. So that one kind of cool. I think that was one of the things that I noticed. So I have to say that back in 2015, I remember Toshiba had shown something similar to this, right? Where I think the girl had almost real skin and even her emotions and her expression. So here's Unitree robot. He's really busting the move here. I don't know if we have any audio here. But they had a lot of displays of these kind of robots, right? Where they're doing different things, right? He's trying to demonstrate he can use all these different things. He's doing the dab. They had one too, my other colleague had, I didn't record, but that showed they were boxing with the robot, and the robot got hit and he got up again. So okay, so next one would be this guy. They try and do the moonwalk. I think, yeah, he even has a hat. So he has a man in the mirror hat. I didn't see any of the robots that you see online. For example, if you go to Instagram, you see the Chinese robots, they do like the full backflip. I mean, that's possible, but maybe they didn't want to. It might be a hazard, but that'd be interesting. Here's another one. So doing the line dancing. He's really going at it, and so you had to power him off. And so, I mean, of course, as we know, Big Brother is here, right? Everything is recorded, as you know, these days, regardless if you're in the street, you know, in the city or everywhere, right? Whether it's robotics or humanoids or cameras, it's just everywhere. Data centers, right, are the big ones right now. People are trying to solve that problem. AI obviously is going to consume a lot of power. You know, the question is like robot baristas, right? And robots folding clothes and, you know, but are these problems actually needed to be solved? I mean, they could do menial tasks, but again, you know, how much of this do we really need? How much will replace us? Autonomous vehicles, right? So the time shift. So not just having the technology implemented in driving, but you know, if driving disappears, what else will we do, right? Because right now a lot of us drive, and yeah, it would be good sometimes to have someone else drive us like a chauffeur, but then will we become more complacent and more sedentary, right? And then again, what systems should we build or make sense to build? So actually, I was like this robot at the end. I was very tired and pooped. So that's pretty much all I have. So, yep. Anybody have any questions? Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Avery. So, I know like Meta is creating a lot of like those AI glasses, wearables.
Mhm.
So have you seen anything on CES related to the AI glasses? Like could be the displays or it could be the Meta AI glasses or those Vanguards, Oakley Vanguards. Like,
I mean,
any trend on that?
Oh, so any trend on smart glasses similar to like the Ray-Bans or the Oakleys, yeah, the Meta ones, yeah. There are a lot of them. There are a lot of Chinese brands too. But the thing is, a lot of it is me too. I mean, honestly, for me, like Ray-Bans are cool if I was wearing sunglasses, but I need prescriptions, right? So for me, I need something small because otherwise when I have big ones, my eyes don't look. So I don't have anything this small that can actually do anything smart. So that's not practical for me, right? Because Ray-Ban is only like one type of design, and Oakley is only one type of design for a certain segment of population, right? Not everybody will adapt that. So
that's good. Thanks for explaining. That's good. Great insight.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, please can you repeat? So you confirm there was no prescription glasses supporting smart glasses.
Yeah, I didn't see it yet. Yeah. Usually what happens is like, oh, okay. The question is, did I see any prescription glasses that were there at CES? Yeah, that were also smart. No. I'm sure there are, but the thing is, I think a lot of them are kind of like Chinese ones that you'll see online as well, that they try to implement kind of a cheap version of a Google Glass. It might have some projection stuff, but it's not really useful. I mean, it's novelty. It's like a toy. Right? Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
What about the hearing aid? So, did you see?
Oh, hearing aids? Yeah. I think the hearing aids are still pretty much the same as they've always been. It's kind of interesting because like the digital hearing aid industry hasn't really changed that much. It's occupied by a few major ones, right? Like Philips and whatever, and they charge exorbitant amount of money and you have to have insurance, right? I think a few of my friends tried startups where they're using actually analog technology, right? Mixed signal technology as opposed to pure digital, which is clearer. But for some reason, they can never get past the major, Johnson & Johnson's and the Philips because they dominate market. They won't let you in. So, yeah. So there hasn't been really that much development, at least in commercialization of the hearing aids that have been improved. I mean, I would say now it's 2026. We have a lot of technologies that can make it so much better for people to hear, even if you're not fully deaf, but if you're younger and you need some, kind of the spidey ears, but for some reason I don't see those. So. Yeah.
It's too bad, right?
I know it's too bad, right? I mean, for us who are technologists, we want to get this out to people so people can benefit, right? I mean, I'm a business guy, I want to make money, but I do not believe in preventing it being used by the masses if it's going to benefit everybody. And actually, if it benefits everybody, aren't you going to make more money, right? So I don't understand, but you know, obviously the big, it's just like big pharma, right? They control everything. So yeah.
Yeah, a question about healthcare. Have you seen any self-diagnostic toolkit that somebody can do themselves if you have diabetes or taking blood or anything like that?
I think right now the latest ones are just the ones that you see right already in stores, that kind of subcutaneous that can measure and monitor. I haven't seen anything more advanced than that. But I mean, diabetes definitely is a huge problem for a huge population of the world, right? So I'm not sure why I don't see more of that, other than maybe the FDA approval and all that. But again,
I would assume it's before the FDA approval show a
Correct.
prototype.
Yes.
You haven't seen it.
I didn't see anything that was that advanced. Yeah, beyond that. Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions? Either online?
Were you there as an investor? Were you looking into potential things to invest in? Were you looking at what's an interesting TAM or total addressable market?
Yeah, so I had two hats. I was there as an investor because I did participate as a judge for some of the pre-CES event, but I was also there for the Global Semiconductor line. So we looked at events and kind of how things are, we can improve in what we do with curate events for executives. But I'm always looking from the lens of an investor and also from someone who has started a few companies myself, because I know how difficult it is. And we had the wearable startup, which I really wanted to help other people. And so I'm always looking for some solution where it actually makes sense, right? I mean, again, like I said, it's not just the investability of it, but also if it's really something that the world needs to see, right? Something that
Not a nice to have, but
Exactly.
burning need.
yeah, burning need, as opposed to just like another fidget spinner or fun thing to have, right?
We'd be interested in looking at an archive field.
Archive.
Yeah, you have to elaborate.
Oh, what's the archive field?
It's like, for example, what's called the Dropbox.
Storage?
Or the Google Archive,
Google Drive.
Google Drive.
Oh, okay.
Or like Google have a different version of that. It's actually called Archive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not just Google Drive. Something like that, but in a sense, it's community owned.
Oh,
That
okay.
means you have your own community, not controlled by big corporations.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Okay.
What do you think that?
Well, right now with Google Workspace or whatever, I mean, usually companies and other organizations use it. Isn't that your own community right now that you control and nobody else has access other than the people within? Like IEEE, we use Google, right? And my other startup company uses Google, right? So
Right. Like, I talked to the Google person, said that storage going to an end. They put a limit on that.
oh, okay, yeah.
Because they're not going to keep for you forever.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
The question is, the data, the privacy of that. If we have a lot of AI crawling over everything, and so how do you protect your human creations? So there is a talk. I think there is a group will get together to create what do you call it? Public owned storage.
Mhm.
It's something like that. It's public owned. What do they call this?
So sometimes if we have questions that go on for many minutes, it's good for an offline after the
Okay.
talk conversation.
Right. So something like that.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, we can definitely talk more about it. I think some way to wall it away from the AI is something people are concerned. Obviously, right now, remember, now everybody's getting their Apple Mac Mini because they're running, and it's like it goes in and crawls in and tries to mess up your files and delete stuff. So
Right.
it's very dangerous.
Yes, it's not just only mess things up, and also inject things. you
Yes,
cannot see.
Exactly, right?
And you cannot even detect what that is.
Yeah. That's very dangerous, especially if you need records for legal proceedings and other things, right? I mean, you could technically go and modify them and say, hey, this is how things work and happen, not the way you claim it was. Yeah. Okay, yeah, another question?
I'm okay.
You mentioned that there was no innovation in like hearing aids. Yeah, I did attend a talk at the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory.
Uh-huh.
And there was a PhD student there who was trying to use AI to cheaper so that people in developing countries can
Mhm.
more easily access it.
Yeah.
And he was also, I think, got a grant for something, he worked on it during summer or something. But I have not followed up, but was trying to do something on that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm surprised that there is no vision there, given that.
Yeah, I think like the Lawrence Livermore, so I used to be a judge, you know, because they work with UC Davis on the commercialization. Like a lot of scientists wants to see how they can, you know, do a startup and commercialize what their research is. So I think that would be an interesting project to follow and see where it's going and if they have funding behind it to,
Yeah, I did not follow up with that person. I think I can locate that person.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was very passionate about it. Yeah. Making it cheaper, I think, with the new technology.
okay. Yeah, thanks. Any other questions? Any questions on?
Somebody had a remote
Okay,
question about fusion. Was there a mention of fusion on one of your slides?
I don't know if I mentioned fusion. Did I mention fusion? Okay, yeah. But yeah, I didn't see anything about fusion at CES. but
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. That might be more of a Lawrence Livermore type thing. So, yeah.
What about the hydrogen battery?
Yeah, like for instance, you know, you saw that
Can you
truck,
repeat?
right? Yeah. Oh, how about the question was about hydrogen batteries? I think just as implemented in like that truck for recharging and powering house for 3 days. I think that had hydrogen, but there weren't individual displays of hydrogen or anything like that, you know, in terms of powering. So
Who is it doing that? Who is it doing that? The company you're.
oh no, the Stryton energy truck that I was showing earlier. Yeah. So I don't know who they get their hydrogen technology from, right? Yeah. Okay.
Well, I think we're about done. So
Okay.
thank you tonight
Okay.
for
Thank
your
you.
talk and presentation.
All right. Thank you.
Go ahead and shut down Zoom and then.
Okay.